Our first guest helps her clients to grow courageously. Her name is Melissa Kroonenberg from New Roots Therapy, and she's here with strategies to help you stick to your health goals. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
And you know, we all have health goals, and I think we set them not just at New Year's, but all throughout the year because it's vital to our longevity. But you say that it takes a lot of courage to make these changes. Let's talk a little bit about courage when it comes to healthy goals.
Absolutely. Change takes a lot of courage. We have a motto, you've already stated it at our work, called Grow Courageously, because change is a vulnerable process. It takes a lot of courage to step outside of what you typically do and to challenge yourself to grow and learn. And so we always keep courage in mind as we move through this process with people and help them, invite them to step into that themselves.
You know, I love the way you phrase that, because if you think about it, when you're struggling, let's say that you've set a new goal for eating a particular way or starting an exercise program, and if you're feeling stressed and frustrated, you can say to yourself, of course I'm feeling this way. It's taking courage to make these changes.
Absolutely. I hear it all the time. People get very hung up on, you know, what if I fail? What if I've tried this before and it didn't work out? And I personally have also been caught up in those same pieces. And so, you know, and that's what being courageous is about. It's about sort of, you know, allowing yourself the space to fail and knowing that growth really comes from that we need that in order to grow and learn, and to be compassionate with yourself around it and not let it hold you down. Yeah.
Speaking about giving yourself space, sometimes we can feel guilty for taking care of ourselves. So what sort of strategies do you offer your clients on how they can let go of that guilt so they can do the things they need to do for themselves?
Well, I often just invite them to explore that with me a little bit on what it is about taking time for themselves that invites that guilty feeling. And I think a lot of times people get caught up in, they mix up self-care with selfishness. Like it's not always easily distinguished from each other, and they're very different concepts. Self-care is the antithesis really of selfishness. It is not about taking from others. It is about giving to yourself so that you are healthy and well enough that you can give to others. Whereas selfishness is a very different concept. Selfishness is taking at others' expense regardless of the consequences. So I think,
very well put.
Yeah, when people are able to define that for themselves and distinguish those concepts, they find it that there is more space for them to do those things that are in line with their self-care goals.
I'm really glad that you mentioned defining things for yourself. So that's one area we need to define things. Sometimes we need to be specific in order to achieve a goal. We need to get specific on what that goal is. Do you find people are struggling with knowing exactly what it is they want?
All the time, yeah. I think, and especially when you say something like fitness, right? Like fitness is a broad term. And so whenever anyone asks me or talks to me about fitness, I think a good first step is always to define for yourself what fitness is, because it can mean different things to different people. And a lot of times it's associated with weight loss specifically, whereas I would define fitness differently as more of a mind-body piece, not simply an aesthetics piece, right? Because you can be at a certain weight and not really be fit. So fitness, I think, and because people can get caught up in the outcome of weight loss, I think that's part of the defeating cycle they can get into. It's like, well, I don't look a certain way, so I feel like I'm failing, and then I lose motivation to want to go, rather than seeing it as a process of feeling better and feeling more energetic and being in line with who you want to be.
Do you work with a trainer yourself?
I do, actually. Like this topic is kind of close to my heart, because as a business owner with 2 young kids, and I also teach at Durham College, like I can appreciate like having a lot on the go, and also not wanting to sacrifice my health, you know, to do it, and trying to find ways to always like invite that in. And so recently, or within the last couple of years, I was so grateful to meet Sheldon Scott from Evolution Fitness Training, and they're a great group of people who have kind of been transformative for me. They helped me step outside of specifically weight loss. They were really friendly. It's a welcoming community, and I've grown close to everyone who's there. And he's really helped to educate me on what I need, which I've found is another important part, that I always felt like it had to be all or nothing. Like I needed to either be doing everything and working out 5 days a week and eating nothing and basically not liking life at all, or I wasn't living a healthy lifestyle. And he helped to really reframe that for me and make it something that fit in with my life, which helped me stick with it. So I'm so grateful to him. And his
Wow, that's beautiful. And sometimes what we need is that person to come along and reframe things for us. So he helped you reframe, and you help other people reframe.
Yeah.
And I think the beauty in that is knowing we never have to go through anything alone. We can contact people like yourself to help us along our journey. So thanks so much for being here today.
You're so very welcome.
And up next, Sport Check. We'll be right back. So